Hi, welcome to the weekly VEP meeting, and I believe this is week 7. Skip isn't able to join us today because he's getting ready for the masterclass. It's going to happen in about 58 minutes. So those of you who have signed up to the VEP masterclass operational series, you can tune in at that time. I probably should have shared out a link before this started, but if you don't have the link or don't have a sign up for the masterclass, just send me an email and I'll make sure that you get signed up for it. Skip's pretty excited to talk about how to walk through things and how to develop your tactical part of your VCIO program. Today we were looking at talking about something I keep repeating over the past week. One of the things was last week I kind of went over this spreadsheet that showed how to do service breakdown. So a big part of the VEP program is taking the services that are in the platform and translating them into a questionnaire or a repeatable process. So for some of you, you're using the stack audit to figure out where are you missing projects and how to consistently audit your clients. Others of you are using the strategy development to figure out where your client's going and how to generate more revenue through increased engagement. Some of you are doing Office 365 audits, and the same process applies. So I kind of move over here. If you have any questions, ask them in the background. I'll try to get to them if I can. Without Skip here, it's hard for me to look at both screens at the same time. So with that, let's move over to, if it pops up, there we go. All right, so this is the spreadsheet you guys saw last week. And every week I feel like I'm honing this down a little bit more, and I probably should just share it to everyone. And what you're missing here in the report template is that I have built out a report over here that a lot of you are using, whether it's the stack or whether it's the annual report, it doesn't matter. But what you need is you need to go over to your report templates, and you'll see the questionnaire section. And this is the part that most people struggle on how to make really close to what you need. Oops, let's go to virtual C here. On my demo account here, what you can see is I have a report, and then let's just change things up a bit today. Let's go down to the stack assessment. Oh crap, well, I see strategy there first, so let's go to that. So when you open this up, one of the key parts is the maturity assessment, the questionnaire area. And as you heard me say many times, like these are just placeholders. There's nothing here that you have to use. I just wanted to show people how you could break out an area. And so when you go over to the questionnaire section, you'll see a distinct correlation between the two. So when you have your questionnaire template, you'll have column A, column B, column C, and well, column G. So really, you know, if you move this over, all you need is these 4 columns. These will tell you everything you need to know to build your own questionnaire. This is also really hard for some people because they haven't really done anything outside of, they have a listing of services, but they haven't really delved down into what areas do these services belong to. For instance, you know, do you have an infrastructure audit? So are you doing a TSA? Network monitoring, maybe you have some kind of bright gauge reporting that you're doing. Do you have a managed firewall process? Is there an audit process for that? And so what are the services you have? So if you do manage PCs, manage firewalls, where do they fit in this whole thing? And common ones that I see are infrastructure. Actually, instead of application, it's managed services here. Security and strategic services. So strategic services are your budgeting, your QBRs, any kind of mapping or future planning, like taking a look at depreciation schedules for those of you who are finance nerds. So what you want to do is basically take column D, and you want to list out every service you offer your clients, from managed antivirus to hosted web services to Azure. Everything that you will do for a client, in a group with a series of deliverables. So Azure has a series of deliverables. You'll migrate from the on-prem out to the cloud, you'll set up accounts, you'll clean up for them, and you'll kind of figure that out. So there's a whole bunch of things that happen underneath there. So basically, these are your projects within ConnectWise. These are your tasks that you're going to set up in ConnectWise that you're going to do throughout the year. These are what category they belong to. So in the questionnaire, you're going to see strategy maps to strategy. So when you actually like pull up your report, you'll see a bar graph next to this. So I call these the measurement tools that you need to define as an organization. This will also help you define your products for when you're doing sales. So some of you are like, hey, we'll just manage all of your IT. Well, so will 30 other MSPs out there. What actually are you going to deliver to them? So when I walk in as a VCIO and I look at the existing portfolio of the MSP, I'm like, okay, how are they supporting you? What are they doing? And the great MSPs will have like their 4 pillars or their 3 pillars that they're going to make sure that they deliver to you. The lower MSPs or the, you know, like I will see, we'll take care of your PCs, we'll take care of your servers, and they kind of generally say, we'll patch everything and we'll be on call 24/7. That's nice, but I've got 300 other MSPs I have to choose from. I have mom and pops, I have one-man shows, I have large shops. What makes you different is that you can tell them, like, look, we have our 4 pillars, our 4 measurement tools we're going to measure ourselves on every year, and we're going to measure you on. And all of our services fit into one of those categories. But the problem with just having these 2 things is that your clients don't understand. They don't understand what an infrastructure audit is. So you're going to come in and look at all my hardware. Like, no, it's bigger than that. We're going to make sure that you're following best practices. We're going to make sure that you have up-to-date items and that they're all working together. And that's just a small piece of what we do. If you really want to get your infrastructure under wraps, we also need to figure out, are you effectively using your networking? Are you managing your perimeter security? So coming up with those human-centric questions that you can ask a 5th grader, this is all things that I will repeat over and over again until I see people start doing it, because these directly correlate into this. So strategy, I want to know what my annual strategy process is, and here are my questions that relate to that. Same thing over here. Here is my infrastructure, or here's my strategic services, and then what is the subcategory here? So in reality, this belongs in this column over here. So this is annual. This is my quarterlies. You know what? A budget is also quarterly. So these are things that I want to be able to put into my report and measure my clients. So break these out, make them your own, and you will get way more out of your, whether it's your infrastructure audit, your strategic audits, your Office 365 audits, your best practice audits, whatever you do, whatever report you have, build this first, and you will get so much more out of your measurements. So let's look at that, what this actually looks like for those of you who are new to the program. So those of you who have not been delivering this to your clients, what happens is you come over to Apple Accounting here, which is my favorite Testa client. I go into Strategy Development 2020, and you guys have seen this 30 times already. But what you're going to see is I have measured and I have shown the client where we are on each of these sections. This is an overall health because that's the way I like to look at things. But if we went into the details of a report, like say the technology stack audit, let's go out here a little bit. You'll see a much more detailed view. And this is your really rubber meets the road kind of stuff. This is what the high value to your clients are going to be. So these categories don't matter. They need to be what you as an MSP bring to the table. This is where you're going to walk in the door to a new client or a potential client, and your sales staff's going to go, man, you're currently scoring a 57 on end user resources. We can get you to a 96 by the end of the year. And they're going to see these little bars. And there's a psychological component to this where, hey, no one likes to be failing. 50 is failing, right? There's a psychological component, like if we can get up there, that's better. What's the incumbent doing? They're not measuring on any of this stuff. They're not showing their clients where they are. They're getting an MSA to sign every year, and that's it. So you're going to differentiate yourself by showing your 4 pillars, your 10-step process, whatever it is you're measuring, you're putting here, and you're going to put them into this column over here. Whether it's 4, whether it's 10, whether it's 5, I don't care. It doesn't matter as long as it reflects how you do business. Differentiate yourself with your metrics. What are you going to hold your client accountable for, and what are you going to do personally? Ask your human-centric questions. But it all starts with here. What are your services? What are you tactically doing with your clients every day? And when you have this and you break it down and you answer your human-centric questions, then you're going to have a good time. I guess I did talk about subcategories, but subcategories really, when you do the breakout, that's when you do the extra share. What you're going to see is a let's see if I can pull it out of the strategy development here. You're going to see that's just the groupings that the questions go in. So since I didn't show you, I just talked about it. Let me grab that and just pull it out for a second. So if I share this to my client, I want to pull up in the background, I pop it out into another tab. The subsections, annual strategy. So any questions that are in there, they're going to get grouped together. So maybe all the questions you have about your managed PCs, all the questions you have about managed firewall or managed whatever, put them in one section. In my case, I put my annual services all in one grouping. So that, this is just the big thing I wanted you guys to focus on this week. I didn't want to throw a bunch of things at you. I know the last couple of weeks we've thrown a ton of things at the group, but this is the big thing I just wanted you guys to focus on. I mentioned it for like a couple of minutes last week, but I really wanted to hammer it home. Like, this is a very useful tool. So if you're watching this and you're watching a recorded session, take these first columns, make your own Excel spreadsheet, do something, and build this. And you'll find that you'll be able to make your reports so much easier. I don't see too many questions coming in, if any. Looks like you guys are pretty quiet out there. But the last thing I had a couple people email me this week for the Q&A was, how do I view previous webinars or weekly updates? And what I say is, go here. So I'm going to send this to the group chat. If you get the weekly email, oh, not all panelists. If you get the weekly email, this is in there, but copy this, go here, and you'll see that as I get something done, I will post it. So there will also be the operational series. There will also be the strategic series, the 2 master classes that are going on. You'll see a row come up. And then here's some BCIO skill. Every once in a while, I get enough questions about something that people are like, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, okay, rather than repeating myself, I'm going to make a specific video on this, like how to run a SWOT workshop. If you're really nervous on how to do that, go here. If you really want to talk about cadence, go here. And I really want you to learn about how to do things appropriately and how like some of the tricks I have for dealing with clients and raising engagement. These 2 videos, I believe, are the exact same ones. Just one of them got edited and they got uploaded twice. I'll clean that stuff up. Let me know if you ever see anything like that again. All the previous BEP emails are here. The last 3 videos I do will always be at the top. So today you'll probably see the strategic video from last week. I had to edit a little bit because we had about 40 seconds of dead noise in there. And then we'll upload skips to the operational side for those of you who can't make it. So don't worry about not making something. There's a lot of videos. We're all busy people. We have operations. And so we all need to just figure out how we're going to do this the best way we can. And also, as feedback from, I think it was Chris Meacham, decided that he didn't want to see the overlord face of Adam Walter here. So I'll see if I can't find some Twilight Sparkle or something to throw up on the page for you guys. So when you open the page, it's not all of a sudden like, whoa, 1984. Instead, I'll have something reasonable up there that makes you feel a little bit more squishy inside rather than my bearded face. So With that, I told you guys this is going to be a quick session this week. I really want to be cognizant of your time. You'll have 40 minutes to work on whatever you want. I recommend you go to that questionnaire template, fill it out. If you want a copy of it, just email me and I'll send it to you. But otherwise, make those 4 columns and fill out those sections. And if you have any trouble translating that into a report, just email me, set up some time, and let's figure out how we can make your next steps more productive. Again, this is Adam Walter. I thank you for everybody for coming today. We actually have a fairly large group here, so have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday.